Arizona that they go and visit her, maybe?
Yeah, so that could be what it's about. So this book is called My Great Aunt Arizona.
Is that her name?
I think we're going to find out in the book. I wonder if it is. So we're going to talk especially about character traits today. So when we're reading through the book, I want you to especially stay focused on characters and words that you might possibly use to describe these characters. So I know we talked about character traits a lot with Mrs. Quintero and a little bit with Mrs. Darrow. Who could tell me what a character trait is? What do you think, Sanaya?
It's what a character does, say, and
So what they do, what they say. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. So Yesenia, can you restate to me what Zanaya just said, what a character trait is?
A character trait is like,
I was about to get the ones like
she said.
Do you want to phone a friend and see if Geraldine can help you? Okay, so Geraldine.
She said a character trait is
What they're about and what they I remember.
What they do.
Uh-huh. So a character trait is what a character does. And what they say. Yeah, so a character trait is who a character is on the inside, or their personality. And it can be shown through what they say or what they do. So like I said, I really want us to stay focused when we're reading this book. I really want us to stay focused on thinking of the characters and how we could describe their character traits. Okay?
Why don't they have shoes on?
That's a good question. I wonder if our book will tell us. So we can open it. Okay. My great aunt Arizona was born in a log cabin her papa built in the meadow on Henson Creek in the Blue Ridge Mountains. When she was born, the mailman rode across the bridge on his big hay horse with a letter. The letter was from her brother, Galen, who was in the cavalry, far away in the west. The letter said, "If the baby is a girl, please name her Arizona, and she will be beautiful, like this land." So here we said, one of you asked, I wonder if her name's Arizona. So now our text is kind of telling us that I think it is. Arizona was a very tall little girl. She wore her long brown hair in braids. She wore long full dresses and a pretty white apron. She wore high-button shoes and many petticoats, too. Arizona liked to grow flowers. So petticoats. That's kind of fun.
What's petticoats?
So a petticoat is it's a type of it's something that people
like
use.
this kind of coat, like one of these.
Yeah, exactly. So
like it's like a blanket, but they wrap it like this.
Yeah, so it's like what people in like
You know
years
those
far back
things
used to
that-
wear. And
It looks like a skirt, but
Yeah.
it goes over your head.
So that's a petticoat.
Huge.
So she liked to read and sing. Wait, who liked to read and sing?
Arizona.
Arizona, okay. And square dance to the music of the fiddler on a Saturday night. So it looks like, who are they describing in these last few pages? Arizona. So let's keep that in mind for what her character traits might be. Arizona had a little brother, Jim. They played together on the farm. In summer, they went barefoot and caught tadpoles in the creek. In the fall, they climbed the mountain searching for galax and ginseng roots. In the winter, they made snow cream with sugar, snow, and sweet cream for Mama's cows. When spring came, they helped Papa tap the maple trees and catch the sap in the buckets. And then they made maple syrup and maple sugar candy. Arizona and her brother Jim walked up the road that wound by the creek to the one-room schoolhouse. All the students in all the grades were there, together in one room. All the students read their lessons aloud at the same time. They made a great deal of noise, so the room was called Blab School. So let's see, who are the characters we're talking about on this page that are in school?
All of the kids.
The room was called Blab School, but right here said Henson Creek School.
Oh, yeah, I love how you're using the pictures in the text to give you clues.
Maybe they think the school is a blog.
A blog? And what do you think, Yesenia?
Because they talk too much.
Yeah, So, like, sometimes when you talk too much, it's called blabbing. So maybe that was just a nickname for the school, even though it looks like it's actually called Henson Creek School. It looks like maybe Blab School is a nickname the school was given since the kids talked and talked and talked, or they blabbed and
Because
blabbed
there's
and
a
blabbed.
lot of kids.
Yeah, and so I'm
So
sure it
it's
got
all
noisy.
the grades like preschool
I think that's
to
all
high school.
Oh, maybe it
But
is
if,
all Arizona
but if it
friends.
was through high school,
That would be crazy. Okay.
that'd be a lot of kids.
Can you read that?
So, so who are the two characters that were mainly talked about? on that?
Arizona and Jim.
Jim, who is her
Brother.
Okay. The students carried their lunches in lard buckets made of tin. They brought ham and biscuits. Sometimes they had fried apple pie. They drank cool water from the spring at the bottom of the hill. At recess, they played games like tag and William Matchamato.
What's a boy? This is probably William Maxwell. They piggyback
When
right.
Arizona had read all of the books at the one-room school, she crossed the mountains to the school in another village, a village called Wing. It was so far away that she rode her papa's mule. Sometimes she rode the mule through the snow. When Arizona's mother died, Arizona had to leave school and stay home to care for Papa and her brother Jim, but she still loved to read and dream about the faraway places she would visit one day. So she read and she dreamed, and she took care of Papa and Jim. How does it seem Arizona's acting now that her mom passed away? A little sad?
She might be acting like more about her education, like she loves to read a lot.
Yeah, she seems very focused on her education, and she.
Maybe she feels sad inside, but she's more focused about her education.
Okay, so she's focused on her education, focused on school.
It's kind of like she's like an animal, like protecting her territory
Ooh,
and her kind.
protective. I like that. It does seem like she's protective of her family. That's a really good observation, Geraldine. And it's relating to her character, so I love that you're making that connection. It looks like, let's read back. So it says, when Arizona's mother died, Arizona had to leave school and stay home to care for Papa and her brother Jim. So it looks like
So her brother's probably too little to go to school.
that's what it looks like he's too little to at least to leave. Then one day, Papa brought home a new wife. Arizona could go away to school, where she could learn to be a teacher. Aunt Susie invited Arizona to live at her house and to help with the chores. Aunt Susie made her work very hard, but at night, Arizona could study and dream of all the faraway places she would visit one day. Finally, Arizona returned to her home on Henson Creek. She was a teacher at last. She taught in the one-room schoolhouse where she and Jim had sat. She made new chalkboards out of the lumber from Papa's sawmill and covered them with polish made for shoes. She still wore long, full dresses and a pretty white apron. She wore high-button shoes and many petticoats, too. She grew flowers in every window. She taught students about words and numbers and the faraway places they would visit someday. Have you been there? The students asked. Only in my mind, she answered, but someday you will go. Arizona married the carpenter who helped build the new Riverside School down where Henson Creek joins the river. So Miss Arizona became Miss Hughes, and for the rest of her days she taught 4th grade students who called her Ms. Shoes. And when her daughter was born, Miss Shoes brought the baby to school, to the sunny room where the flowers grew in every window. Every year, Arizona had a Christmas tree growing in a pot. The girls and boys made paper decorations to brighten up the tree. They planted their tree at the edge of the schoolyard, year after year, until the playground was lined with living Christmas trees like soldiers guarding the room where Arizona taught, with her long gray braids wound round her head, with her long full dress and pretty white apron, with her high-button shoes and many petticoats, too. So she's a teacher. It seems like she has...
She's old now.
Yeah, it looks like she grew up. It looks like she has...
I never tell when her papa died.
And it's looking like she has some pretty specific characteristics, doesn't it?
Yeah, it rhymed. It says,
Did it rhyme?
it was right here when it said this.
Oh, cool. I didn't even notice that. Okay. So the boys and girls who were students in her class had boys and girls who were students in her
It looks
class.
like it says for 57 years, my great aunt, since I think her daughter might had, her sister probably had her sister.
Yeah, so she's growing older, so that means the people around her are growing older too.
Yeah, so like
some of her, like it's authors explaining that her students are even having
maybe
kids
like
now.
her daughter, her sister had a baby probably.
Yeah, it looks like that. The boys and girls who were students in her class had boys and girls who were students in her class, and they had boys and girls who were students in her class. For 57 years, my great aunt Arizona hugged her students. She hugged them when their work was good, and she hugged them when it was not. So what do you think that means? She hugged them when the work was good.
So it doesn't matter when it was good, if it was good or bad.
Yeah, so what do you think that says about her personality?
She's really nice.
Yeah, she seems really nice. She taught them words and numbers and about faraway places they would visit someday. Have you been there, the students asked. Only in my mind, but someday you will go. My great aunt Arizona. Yeah.
Why does it keep on saying the same thing right here?
I think our author used that kind of strategically, so that means they kind of did that on purpose to maybe mean that the years are passing, because you see, like, the boys and girls who were students in her class had boys and girls who were students in her class, and then they had boys, and so it's kind of, I think, emphasizing or showing the passage of time. Does that make sense? Our author's kind of doing it in a creative way. Instead of just saying many years passed and she got old, he's saying, like, he's just kind of explaining it in a different way. Does that make sense? Okay. So, and she taught my brother and me in the 4th grade with her soft white braids wound around her head. She taught us about the faraway places that we would visit someday. My great aunt Arizona died on her 93rd birthday, but she goes with me in my mind. A very tall lady in a long full dress and a pretty white apron with her high-buttoned shoes and her many petticoats too. She's always there in a sunny room with many flowers in every window and a hug for me every day. She never did go to the faraway places she taught us about, but my great aunt Arizona travels with me and with those of us whose lives she's touched. She goes with us in our minds. Okay, so the next part, it's kind of sad, but it tells us a lot. So our author used such descriptive language. He described the characters so well that it's kind of more easy for us to better describe our characters. So I'm going to give you each one of these sheets, and this is about character traits. It's okay, we're going to go through it. So the characters that are listed.
I know what she was carrying. She liked music.
Okay, I'm glad you know, but so our characters are Arizona, Aunt Susie, and Jim. And we are going to, the character traits that we're going to see if they describe one of them, two of them, all of them, or none of them. So yeah, let me grab your pencil.
I got some.
Oh, thank you. You might have to use remember how we talked about using the text to figure some stuff out and to use the text as
Aunt
first?
Susie, because that's who her dad got married to, right? His new wife.
We'll see. I want you guys to work through this on your own, and we're gonna meet tomorrow. So wait, not quite yet. We're gonna you guys are gonna work through this on your own, and we're gonna meet tomorrow, and we're gonna decide if we all agree on what character traits match up, and why. Because I want you to be ready to use evidence from the text to show me why this person has this character trait. Does that make sense? So if we're confused on some what the words mean, caring. Do we all know what that means? Yesenia, caring. Okay. Musical. You enjoy music. Studious. You're really involved in school. School is very important to you. Outdoorsy. You enjoy being outdoors. Resourceful. So you can you work hard and you are able to kind of turn nothing into something. Like you can use your resources to make it better.
There's a book out there.
Oh, really? Cool. So you're really good at using your resources to make things. Talkative, you like to talk, you talk a lot, and hardworking, you work hard. Okay? So Okay, so I want you guys, for the time we have remaining. Okay, so we'll work on this later today or early tomorrow. And I want you to go through the text and see which character traits Yesenia used it up. I need you to go through the text and work on it. Okay, so we'll go through and we'll go over it tomorrow and see if we agree and see what text we can use to support our answers. Capiche?
Goodbye.
Alrighty.